First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Standing by on the line right now is Sheriff Rob Maciol. I don't know if you realize one of our Crime Stoppers wanted persons of the week from 2 weeks ago, I believe it was.
Yeah, and he made quite a lot of news after the fact.
I think it almost in some of these cases when the attention, the spotlight is placed on a person, it forces them to maybe become a little more active and move. In this case, police say that it involved theft of vehicles, and his name is Gregory Brown. So on that story, Sheriff Rob Maciol on the line now. What do we know about this one, Sheriff? Good morning.
Good morning. And you say certainly, all the publicity through Crime Stoppers is certainly, we believe it puts, as you said, people on the run, but it also really, we're constantly pushing it, and you guys are, and we just received an incredible amount of tips on possible locations of Gregory Brown. Some of them were verified, some weren't, but we did receive some solid information that he was out in the Syracuse area, and my guys, along with Syracuse PD and the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office and the New York, New Jersey Warrants Task Force, they worked tirelessly through the weekend, just following up on these leads. They got a location. They waited for an opportunity to safely get him into custody, and yesterday he was apprehended and is back here in Oneida County to face his charges. So, just great work by everybody. Obviously, my guys in the warrants unit throughout like I said, they were around the clock on this. And but again, hats off to everybody that we got tips through Crime Stoppers. We got tips through our phone line. We actually had a couple people reach out to some of our guys just from learning about them through the tips and just a community coming together to get a dangerous individual off the streets.
Also, the story of an inmate out of the county jail who was found. What do you know about that?
Yep, the incarcerated individual, he came in on Thursday. He was brought in on some charges on Thursday, and so had been with us for a couple of days. But yesterday in the morning, when officers were doing the breakfast trays to the inmates, he was found on the floor of his cell. Two officers immediately began CPR, alerted our medical unit in the jail. Within minutes, they were there. Ambulance was called, CPR was done, but sadly he passed away about 9 a.m. yesterday morning at the hospital. At this point it's medical in nature. We don't believe it was suicide, but again, we got to wait for the autopsy to obviously give us some solid answers on a few questions that we have. But again, at this point, it's being classified as medical in nature.
And the other thing I wanted to chat with you about is, like so many others, you're looking for new recruits, and the civil service exam is coming up.
Yep, we have for Road Patrol, we have a Deputy Sheriff Road Patrol Civil Service exam that's coming up on September 18th. You only have a short window to apply, now through August 25th. Starting salary for a deputy sheriff is $41,200, and then 6 months later, when the academy's over, it goes to $48,500. State retirement system, health insurance, and benefits through Oneida County. You have to go to ocgov.net under personnel. It's $25 to sign up for the civil service exam. Like I said, you've only got till August 25th to close the business that day to apply for the test. That's on September 18th. And also, we've got continuous recruitment for full and part-time correction officers. There's not a test scheduled just yet for that, but we are taking applications for full and part-time, and depending on what a person's interested in, we can accommodate whichever part are full-time, and you can reach out to us through the same means to get that underway for correction. So we've got opportunities in both divisions, a lot of opportunities, especially in corrections, and just hoping to find some good recruits out there.
Sheriff, on the Greg Brown story, I know he's in custody now, but it was about a week ago, there was thought that he had stole a second vehicle and was involved in a standoff inside a house in Utica. Was he the actual person that was in that house, or do we not know? Because it seems like he had gotten away.
Obviously, the foot chase took place in the town of Vernon. There was a car that he stole from a house out in Vernon after that foot chase, in which he left from Vernon, went back to Utica. He was in a house on Miller Street. I believe it was Miller Street. I don't have my notes in front of me. I believe it was Miller Street. And we believe that he was in there upon SWAT team's entrance. Once everything was clear in the neighborhood and in the area, they went in, they did a search. He wasn't there. But we did find pretty solid evidence that he was in there. So
wow.
He did evade police a second time there. And like I said, he was... we received the information he's been hiding out since in the Syracuse area in the city, and like I said, those leads they panned out. They were legit, and we followed up on him, and he's now in custody. Just a very like I said, he's a dangerous individual, and I'm just glad he's off the streets right now.
All right, and then one more from last night, from overnight. There were reports that in the Utica area and in New Hartford, that people were out stealing catalytic converters. 2 stolen from the U-Haul on Lemon Place, just off the arterial last night. What do you know about these, and what can people do to protect their property?
Well, that's a tough one because this is a hot item. They're being stolen from businesses that are closed at night. We actually had one where a clerk in a convenience store had her stolen in the parking lot during the day when the store was open. A very busy local convenience store, very busy one on the weekends with the campers and whatnot. But there was so much commotion in the parking lot that an experienced car thief was able to crawl underneath and remove the catalytic converter. I'm assuming when the people around them saw this taking place, they assumed the guy was probably just working on his car.
Right.
Little did they know he was actually committing a larceny off of someone else's vehicle. So it's a hot item. They're very lucrative for people to steal and resell. Obviously, if it was something simple like locking your doors, I'd say, that's the quickest way. But it's one of those things where, you probably want to park your vehicle in a lighted area. Ring doorbell is a tremendous tool. A lot of security cameras at businesses. Hopefully it'll help us catch some of these people. But just be cautious or be aware of where you're parking and try to keep an eye out. If you see something suspicious, it goes back to that basic thing. If you see something, say something. I mean, someone working underneath a car in the middle of a Saturday afternoon at a convenience store might be a little bit suspicious. But again, like I said, people probably assumed he was working on his own car. And in fact, he wasn't. So.
All right.
Sheriff, is there any reports that you get if somebody tries to sell or trade in a catalytic converter where the shop or the person that's trading it in or buying it says this doesn't seem right?
Yeah, we actually have it's kind of a unique thing because if we're talking about like jewelry or appliances or electronics or things like that, as you know, we have the local law where all the pawn shops have to report their inventory to us through a software server every 7 days. And then our software matches it up with police reports to see if we can, and we do capture a lot of stolen property that way. But again, this is one of those unique things where, we've solved cases, scrap metal yards where someone pulls in with a truckload of manhole covers from a municipal, they're going to call the police because they know that, chances are these things are stolen. But again, this is one of those things where, they're stealing them and they're selling them off to some of these not so trustworthy, body shops and whatnot, or these, things of that sort. So you got to be very cautious and very, very, very aware of and the legit body shops that we deal with on a regular basis, they're not going to take any chances. When these things come in, they do provide us information. But right now, it's a pretty tight-lipped, unfortunately, a tight-lipped theft ring going on right now.
And do you try to pawn off the actual catalytic converter, or do you strip it down?
That I don't know, Bill. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know about you, Sheriff, but I'm not sure I could identify a catalytic converter.
No. I'm lucky I can
here.
put gas in my car.
All right. I get it, Sheriff. We appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a great day. Right? I mean, would you know what a catalytic converter looks like?
Not even close.
I have no idea. I know what a Cadillac looks like.
Well, I was going to say that, too.
Angela's usually behind the wheel.
Oh, wow. It's a very small piece.
Yeah.
It's a very small piece.
Would not even know. I wouldn't know what it was.
Catalytic converter.
Catalytic converter versus catalytic
on my Cadillac
converter of Angela over there.